Hi, the show that I want to review today, or the series that I want to review today in my project, is called Karda, or sort of the Soul Wants, is the literal translation of that in English. And it's about these eight 30 something characters who have different professions in the city of Bombay. Um, some of them are in business, some of them are teachers, some of them are singers, some of them are in finance, one of them is a psychotherapist, but they went to school together and they've managed to stay in touch, which I find really amazing. And they really rely on each other during good and bad times. Each character has their own sort of journey, but it centers on three central characters. Arjun Gill, who is like a rapper, um, Rishabh Rathore, who is like this restaurant owner, and Lavanya, who Rishabh is attracted to, who is who's also a working professional. So I'm just taking down my notes. Now, I think what's really the theme of this series, I think it's like 8 episodes long, and each one is about 20 to 30 minutes long, is about how you deal with your hopes and aspirations as you get into your 30s. And um, for many of them, the way they imagined their 30s was very different from how it turned out. And I think it's about accepting that reality. Relationships, work may not always be the way you want them to be, but they can also be much better than you want them to be. So there can be two sides. So just because you're having a great career doesn't mean you will have a great relationship at the same time as well. But you do learn a lot from how each of these characters navigate those bonds. And I think one of the underlying other themes that you know in this film is how your childhood can affect um, your way of looking at the world as you grow up, and your experiences, your formative experiences can influence your view on money, on love, on making your way in the world. So I thought I learned a little from each character. From Lavanya, I learned that um, even if you adjust, it's important to communicate your needs in a relationship. Um, from Arjun, I learned that even if you get really famous, you still are a human being and you want selective attention and comfort and company. From Shahid, I learned that um, you can't always be very trusting, and you need to also understand when people are taking advantage of you. From Preet, I learned that it's important to put yourself out there if you want to find someone that you connect with, but it may not always work out. From Sheetal, I learned that you need to sort of understand your partner's world before you get into a relationship with them. From Samir, I realized that it's hard to balance the needs of your family and your partner, especially if you're living in a joint sort of family environment. Um, from Melroy, I learned that you shouldn't in any way deal with any sort of um, in any relationship you need to have boundaries, and that's what I learned from Melroy. So Yeah, it's definitely a show you'd enjoy watching if you're curious about how 30 somethings grow up in urban India. So, yep.